Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Gladius. And I think this should be the last episode, most likely, of this campaign. Because while there's quite a bit of the map that's still under enemy control, if most of the map is under the control of the sisters and I'm wiping out their bases here, we should be able to rapidly take over a large portion going west from east, since we already took out their capital. And you can see you can reprogram Castellan, so then I just took that over. Now you can only capture one every 10 turns, but that's how that mechanic works. And that's how you could really aggressively expand with the AdMech if you found Castellans right outside your base, because you don't have to like get them weakened or anything before you reprogram them. You just literally reprogram them.
No mercy! I am the knight you have always feared.
State directives.
Signal clear. Go ahead.
The Omnissiah guides my actions. Beginning assault.
Alright, well, let's just keep advancing here.
It shall be torn asunder.
Yeah, see, and as we're pushing, these cities aren't even maxed out on their population caps yet.
Agreed. Be not low and forever fall silent.
Movement order confirmed.
And because we're making some pretty good progress on killing the enemies here, I did slow the game speed down a little bit. I know when I speed it up too much, that can sometimes annoy people. But now that there's not thousands of units on the screen anymore, it doesn't make those end turn loading things take so long, because that does take a long period of time once you get to that mid to late game. And there's multiple factions still alive, because there's literally thousands of actions that are happening on the enemy turn.
The machine god shows the way.
Command me and see me rise to the occasion.
So if we're sitting back just focusing on research and, you know, not a lot is going on, then it's like it actually takes longer for the enemy turns to go than it does for yours. And if you can't see what's happening, then it's like, why just have this slow in-turn loading screen there. But if you are finding that you don't like when I'm speeding things up, just you can see that little gear icon on your computer on the YouTube. And usually what people will do is use that to speed up videos, because you can go up to 2 times speed. But for me, it may actually work the opposite way, whereas if you're not liking that the game is sped up, then you could actually slow down the video playback speed as well.
At your command. Ex Machina Veritas, performing remediation rituals. Movement order confirmed.
Because I tend to be a quick talker anyways, unless I'm sitting there thinking about it.
Shadow over this land and light it with my glory.
Alright.
The Omnissiah guides me.
I just haven't found the Chaos base yet, which kind of surprises me a little bit.
The Omnissiah's light shall burn them away. Your knight is here. Be laid low and forever fall silent.
Alright, keep expanding here, and then we just focus on the ore. We got lots of 40%ers, so that should be nice. This is our food location. And let's just keep that going, since we are making a breacher army. In fact, we're almost to a situation where I think we can start producing military units again.
Honor the machine. Honor the Omnissiah.
What does the Omnissiah will?
Yeah, because almost this is all locked down right now. Okay, now I see the Chaos borders there. And we can see the sisters' settlements. I guess we'll find out if they're coming for us or not by seeing what the sisters' actions are here. Oh! The data smith that the AI has is still alive, so he just captured the robot back.
I am the demise you have always feared.
Likewise, because of that,
You desire my
if you're
expertise.
fighting the Castellan, you don't want to bring your own Castellans over there, because if you're struggling
You desire my expertise.
and they were to run over there
Logic dictates nothing less.
and take that back from you,
Our mission compels
that
us to
could be
move
quite a
forward.
situation, especially if you were on cooldown for your 10
The machine
turns.
calls into fluctuates.
Yes. I stand ready for orders. There is victory on the wind. I can feel it. I cast my shadow over this land and light it with my glory. Be let go and forever fall silent.
Platform active. Awaiting instruction. Eradication protocols engaged.
An infallible calculation.
Let's just break down all this wire weed here.
Knight Crusader awaits your command. I tread where I will. Heading forth. It is an honor to fight at your side. By my ancestors, it shall be done. The bloodstain you leave shall be your
Alright,
only
got
memorial.
that.
Proceeding.
Move these guys over.
Destination set. Destination set.
And let's just do a rapid expansion
Forward,
here.
brethren. Only victory lies ahead. Pathfinding. The Omnissiah calls us there.
Logic dictates nothing less.
Thou art no match for my ancient flame. Yes,
So
my
the
liege.
sisters actually have a
Logic
melee-based
dictates
knight,
nothing less.
so you can easily
quest
kill them
continues.
with the Admech knights, because your knights are actually all range builds.
What is the Omnissiah's will? We are the chosen of the machine god.
I shall tend to the machine spirit.
I am the demise you have always feared.
What does the Omnissiah will?
All functions operational.
I sentence you to ruin.
Elven excel at optimal capacity.
Alright, get you healing.
A simple task. Analyzing topography.
An infallible calculation.
Adapting position for
Yeah, I
better
just
results.
don't want to bring you up to attack the Chaos Forces yet. Because I'm just not sure how much they have there. I assume they're pretty battered, but I don't want to bring you in so closely and aggro them onto me if they're already aggroed onto these sisters, because then they can just keep killing each other while we're getting into position. Probably want to start getting some heroes going again too, so they can keep healing. Since we build out all those influence buildings to be able to kit out more heroes. And our energy situation is much better now that we've got those energy buildings being produced. Yeah, see, Chaos and the sisters are fighting each other. Why is this not going? That was
Let us
weird.
undertake this burden together. By my
We're
ancestors,
just like stuck in
it
this
shall be
perpetual
done.
loading situation.
Push forward, Hitari.
There is victory on the wind. I can feel it.
Purge in progress. Confirmed.
You have a new quest for me.
Unit ready.
Alright, well,
Platform active.
The secrets of the past shall unlock future glories.
let's try to
The
just
way
get you
shall
up
be
to
cleared
here.
in the name of the Omnissiah.
Agreed.
I was kind of hoping that was going to set off the overwatch of the city there.
Tolerate no please. Give no
So I
mercy.
didn't want that melter gun to be attacking the breachers, because that'd probably do pretty
Your
significant
command
damage to
is
them.
my purpose.
All systems operational.
Our quest continues.
Damn it.
I stand ready for orders.
I was hoping I was going to be able to shoot from there and then stomp on the
forever fall
cannoners.
silent.
Push forward, Hitari. Proceeding.
You desire my expertise. Movement order confirmed.
Acknowledged.
I was debating about making another city, but
I
honestly,
tread where I will.
with how well this is going,
The machine god shows the way.
I'm probably actually gonna beat this
I sentence you to ruin.
today.
We must stake our claim to these lands.
Logic dictates nothing less.
Yes, my liege. Yes, my liege.
Unless something totally unexpected
Let
happens.
no and forever fall silent.
Eradicate.
Superseding previous order. Intriguing.
Moving now.
Target acquired.
They shall be extinguished.
Focus.
I don't know if
Analyze.
actually killing the
Optimize.
sisters is what I should be
If that is
doing
your
now,
wish. Honor the
or whether I
machine.
should be shifting
Honor
to the east and then
Omnissiah.
attacking Chaos while the sisters are also
The
attacking
Omnissiah guides
Chaos.
me.
I think that's probably the better way of doing this.
Focus. Analyze. Optimize.
But I just don't have much of a force with how much these guys are spread out. Yeah, see, they're coming after me. And I guess that makes sense, right? I mean, I'm killing more of their units than Chaos are, especially if,
Forward the Omnissiah.
I stand ready for orders.
Movement order confirmed.
They shall befoul this hell no longer. I stand ready for orders.
especially if this is the last Chaos base.
Pathfinding.
All functions operational.
You desire my expertise.
As the Omnissiah wills it.
State your request.
Tech Priest Manipulus at the ready. Initiating mass repair, restoring units to optimal condition. The machine god shows the way. Praise be to the Omnissiah.
Yes, my liege.
Yes, if that is your wish.
Agreed. Heading forth. You are but ants, and I shall treat you as such. Commend me, and see me rise to the occasion. Your command is my purpose.
Awaiting instruction.
You have a new quest for me.
Oh, because the smoke is in the
I
way.
tread
I'm
where
like,
I will.
why are you not attacking there?
All systems operational.
I am the demise you have always feared. Signal clear. Go ahead. Let us tussle, little creatures.
Analyzing topography.
Ooh, that's a
Our
lot of
quest
guys there.
continues. Moving now.
All systems operational.
Here is to glory along the way.
Let's do that. And
Stand
this.
aside, filth.
Unit ready.
Knight Crusader awaits your command. Tolerate no pleas. Give no mercy.
Alright, sisters are down. We also have faith, but we do not rest on it. Rely on it. Perform, pray, perform miracles. We build our miracles, little sisters. We build knights. Castellans, titans, our rights ensure the correct functioning. Our benedictions awaken their machine spirits. And meanwhile, you build shrines, candelabra, and graveyards. You will never get to lie in them, for there are none of you left to dig. So, alright, sisters are down. We just have to take out Chaos, I think, and we should be good. So, yeah, we're definitely going to be able to finish
Let us
this
undertake this burden together.
playthrough today at this rate.
In the name of honor and house.
We just gotta slowly move across the map now with our forces as a solid pushing force.
Acknowledged.
Your command is my purpose.
Hopefully it's not gonna be like solid
Shall be your only memorial.
enemy
The secret
units
of the
over here,
past
because
shall
that would
unlock
be
future
a little bit
glories.
frustrating. Because that can actually take quite a bit of time
Your command.
to kill all those units, and that unfortunately looks like what it may actually be is just a giant wall of enemy units here.
I can turn the tide of battle. System functions nominal. My life for the machine god. Aim for the objective and maintain formation.
Alright, well, let's just have you run over here. You can collect the resources.
Direction acknowledged.
You're way back there.
Direction acknowledged.
Alright, get you some knights. Actually, Chaos may have more than one base here.
They shall fall before the might of the machine god!
Yeah, this looks pretty good, though. So the question is what's going to happen with Chaos now?
The great barriers of the sinister crusade shall not be halted.
Then we don't want to totally abandon these, the killing of the Sisters units, or else they're just going to be running around and taking back our resource outposts, even though we've almost got it
And forever fall silent.
on total lockdown
Receiving
here.
data.
I stand ready for orders. You have a new quest for me. Then let us tussle, little creatures. A lord does his duty.
Unit ready. Destroy. Confirmed.
I stand ready for orders. Stand aside, filth. Yes, my liege. In the name of honor and oath. Here's to glory along the way. You have a new quest for me.
You desire my expertise.
Yeah, they definitely were
Legio Cybernetica. Logic dictates nothing
popping
less.
smoke everywhere
Commend me
around here.
and see me rise to the occasion.
Praise be to the Omnissiah. What is the Omnissiah's will?
Let us undertake this burden together.
Advancing to strategic position. Advancing
Move
to
over
strategic
here.
position.
State your request.
Motive force thriving.
Get you there.
Legio
Take that
Cybernetica.
shrine, or relic,
Your
not
knight
shrine.
is here. Yes, it is a knight's duty to slay the monsters. I tread where I will.
Alright, I think we're gonna have to fight Chaos here.
Be laid low and forever fall silent.
Performing remediation rituals. Repair protocols initiated.
Acknowledged. Assault commencing.
Knight Crusader awaits your command. Tolerate no
Hopefully
peace.
have you
Give no mercy.
body block as many of these guys as you
You
can.
have a new quest for me. The bloodstain you leave shall be your only memorial.
Motive force thriving. We are the chosen
Actually, a
of the
little
machine
surprised he was
god.
still alive there.
Knight Crusader awaits your command.
Knowledge is power.
Alright,
and we
there's
shall
that
have
city.
both.
Logic dictates nothing less.
Pull back the data smiths so they don't get sniped again.
A lord does his duty. Here is to glory along the way.
Confirmed.
Moving now.
Proceeding.
Here is to glory along the way.
Manufacturing
Buffing our economy up. Alright, we'll get the loyalty up further here. And then you can finally start getting some better population, I think. Or do I want to just focus on energy? But I got 51 energy right now. Yeah, let's just build the population up, I think. And that'll give us a couple more turns to get your population higher, so then we can just spam a bunch of buildings. So Chaos is trying to do their massive expansion here. They've actually founded a city right in our face here.
What is the machine god's will?
Platform active.
Agreed.
All systems operational. Awaiting instruction.
Yes, my liege. I cast my shadow over this land and light it with my glory. Stand aside, filth.
Enhancing targeting function offensive fire. All systems operational.
Kinda hate to put the buffs down, but I think I'm gonna be just running into a bunch of Overwatch.
You are but ants, and I shall treat you as such. It shall be torn asunder. Stand aside, filth.
All systems operational.
Your command is my purpose. By my ancestors, it shall be done. I sentence you to ruin.
Enemy verified. The quest for knowledge.
Get you up to here, repair there.
Unit ready.
Legio Cybernetica.
Get you up to here, get these guys healed up.
Unit ready. Analyzing topography.
Moving now. Let us undertake this burden together.
My calculations predict victory. The Omnisire guides my actions.
I stand ready for orders.
My calculations predict victory. Push forward, Hitari.
Alright, you can eat all that Overwatch.
My life for the machine god.
Let you heal.
Move and forever fall silent. Here is to glory along the way. Stand aside, filth.
Alright, let you repair.
It is an honor to fight at your side.
You start dropping the Helldrakes.
Progress.
State your request.
I stand ready for orders. There is victory on the wind. Feel it.
Kill the city.
Requesting tactical input. None shall fall in service of the machine god. Initiating mass repair, restoring units to optimal condition. Platform active.
Blessed be my mechanical marvels. Knowledge is power, and we shall have both.
Legio Cybernetica. Performing remediation rituals.
State
I'm just
directives.
not totally sure.
Pathfinding. Calculating optimal route.
It is an honor to fight at your side.
How much
Knight
chaos is
Crusader,
going to
await
have
your
over
command.
here.
Let us undertake this burden together.
This is what I was worried about. Chaos has multiple bases and they're spamming out as many units as they can. And my army is far behind, so I can't get that, so he's going to overrun me.
State my next objective.
In the name of
And
honor
these guys
and
are
house,
stuck over here.
they shall be extinguished. Stand aside,
Trying
filth.
to get into combat.
I am the demise you have always feared. Here is to glory along the way. The bloodstain you leave shall be your only memorial. Agreed.
Move order verified. Confirmed. All systems operational.
Thou art no match for my ancient flame. Yes, my liege. I sentence you to ruin. You are but ants, and I shall treat you as such. We must stake our claim to these lands.
Transmit orders. Acknowledged.
Honor the machine. Honor the Omnisire. The way shall be cleared. In the name of the Omnisire.
None shall fall in service of the machine god.
Ex Machina Veritas. Logic dictates nothing less.
Transmit orders.
In the name of honor and house.
State directives. Awaiting instruction. Confirmed.
You have a new quest for me.
And the one downside of the AdMech is you don't have great
Aye, sire. Armed
ways to
and
get
en route.
across the map very quickly. I mean, I do have those canticles, but then that's going to lower the army
Aye,
armor
sire. Armed and en route.
for the forces that are already fighting chaos, which means they're going to get killed even easier.
Tactical input.
But I suppose the trade-off for that is you could argue, well, but all your other troops are going to get there quicker.
The Omnissiah calls us there.
Not really seeing anybody that can be wiped out with that ability.
At the ready. None shall fall in service of the machine god.
Then let us tussle, little creatures.
Galvanic cell at optimal capacity.
It shall be torn asunder.
I shall tend to the machine spirit. Such a nuisance. Repair protocols initiated. Understood. I shall tend to the machine spirit.
None shall fall in service of the machine god.
Stand aside, filth.
Witness the power of the Omnissiah.
Command me and see me rise to the occasion.
Yes.
You have a new quest for me. A lord
Let's
does
just
his
keep
duty.
you guys over here,
I shall set an example. You have a new quest for me.
because while I hate
For the machine god.
to abandon those guys, I don't think I need to attack them from both directions,
Gunship ready. Flight path established.
because otherwise
Calculating
I'm going to be
optimal
moving them to the west and then just have to turn back around and move to the
Input all
east.
codes.
So that doesn't seem like a great situation
Initiating holding pattern.
in terms of efficiency.
I tread where I will.
optimal route.
By my ancestors, it shall be done.
Proceeding. Tech Priest Manipulus at the ready. Platform active. Analyzing topography.
Seems somewhat unnecessary to build up my armies this late into the game, since we're on to the last city, but I also don't want to get myself into a situation where chaos actually beats me back and then I can't
You shall become a champion of decay.
fight back. I don't think that's going to happen, but it looks like they're going to have at least 2, possibly 3 bases over here yet.
Requesting tactical input.
Your command is my
I'm assuming we're
purpose.
moving at like maximum
Be
distance.
low and forever fall silent.
I think we're probably looking at least 5 turns to get these guys over
The bloodstain you leave shall be your only memorial.
to get to the chaos
I shall
base.
set an example. You are but ants, and I shall treat you as such.
Proceeding. All systems operational.
Your command is my purpose. You are but ants, and I shall treat you as such.
Onwards toward our righteous goal.
Receiving data. Intriguing. State your request. Movement order confirmed.
Forward, brethren. Only victory lies ahead.
Yes, my liege. By my ancestors, it shall be done. Stand aside, filth.
Yeah, these are just a solid army over here.
Thou art no match for my ancient flame.
I mean, we're still killing them, obviously, but it's just like attack
Our
after
quest
attack.
continues.
And then difficult terrain slows us down even further.
Be laid low and forever fall silent.
State directives.
I cast my shadow over this land and light it with my glory.
Confirmed.
Flight path established.
Galvanic cell at optimal capacity. Calculating optimal route. Proceeding. Proceeding.
By my ancestors, it shall be done. I tread where I will.
Alright.
Command me and see me rise to the occasion. Heading forth.
Just shift
We must
over
stake our claim
here.
to these lands.
Try to get an idea of where the edge of the map is. Yeah, there is another city over there. I wondered as much given how many soldiers he was putting it here.
Tussle, little creatures.
What does the Omnisire will? Initiating mass repair, restoring units to optimal condition.
Receiving data. An infallible calculation.
Your command is my purpose. The bloodstain you leave shall be your only memorial. I am the demise you have always feared. Here is to glory along the way.
Proceeding. The Omnisire calls us there.
Alright, get this guy some equipment again. In fact, maybe that dimensional key will help me quite a bit to get warped over there and hopefully start healing some of our guys.
Manufacturing overclock initiated.
Give me a
See,
task
they're
worthy
making
of
another city
commendation.
hit there. I knew this was going to happen. They're going to try to rapidly expand out.
Your sinister crusade shall not serve you well.
There's victory on the wind. I can feel it.
My life for the machine god.
I stand ready for orders. In the name of honor and house.
Highlighting weak points. Commencing deflection
You
efforts.
have a new quest for me.
Honor the machine. Honor the Omnisire.
Yeah, I definitely really like the AdMech. They're definitely one of my favorite factions in this game. They just feel so good once you get out of your early game, but even the early game, they're not bad. It's just their glass cannons, and say, unlike the Eldar, who are also glass cannons, they actually do slightly less DPS, but that's because they expect you to do hit and run tactics. Whereas with these guys, it's like, well, once you, because the AI neutrals don't take into account the radioactivity of your units,
Requesting tactical input.
so then they'll stay next to your units longer than the neutrals will for other factions, and that allows you to kill their units more, because then, you know, you get multiple radiation units next to enemy units and it does that bonus damage, and then you can wipe them out the following turn. Because typically what happens is the neutral creeps will do a calculation like, are you going to kill them next turn, how much damage are they going to do to you? And if they're going to do minimal damage and they're going to get wiped out, then they tend to run away from you, which can be very frustrating, because if they're a bunch of Vespids, Cynumen, Enslavers, something like that, where you want to get the kill, that can be very frustrating to try to box them in to control them with the zone of control unless you have enough
It
damage.
shall be torn asunder. It is an honor to fight at your side.
I will lead us to glory. From this vantage point, we shall control the battle, advancing to strategic position.
We must stake our claim to these lands. By my ancestors, it shall be done.
Yeah, you definitely want to kill those
The bloodstain you leave shall be
enemy
your only
priests as
memorial.
fast as possible, because at this late in the game, they're just giving that energy and ore buff to the enemy units here,
May your circuits run true
helping them
again.
produce more units.
Our mission compels us to move forward.
Stand aside, filth.
Oh shit, 87 damage just got reflected onto me because he had the Ichor blood, and then I just stomped him. Because what that did is it reflected the amount of melee damage I did to him, I think by 200 or 300% once it's fully leveled.
Our quest continues. They shall be extinguished.
We are the chosen of the machine god.
Alright, let's warp you over here. Because you should be able to tank some hits, and we want you to be able to heal.
Platform active. Pathfinding. Adapting to the terrain.
Alright, we'll just spam the ore here. Try to see how much resources I can get compared to the AI, given how well we've been playing this match. I'm kind of curious to see where we'll score out, because this has got to be done in the next 5 to 10 turns. Because even if they take these guys out, I should be able to push them back, and then that army should be
You shall
coming
become
over.
a champion of decay.
Ex Machina Veritas. Engaging threat.
Signal clear. Go ahead. Aye, sire. Armed and en route. I cast my shadow over this land and light it with my glory.
Confirmed. Our mission compels us to move forward.
Yes.
Platform active.
I stand ready for orders. Aye, sire. Armed and en route. Stand aside, filth.
Technology is our salvation. I can turn a tide of battle.
Yeah, I think even if we buff these guys, he's still not going to do much for damage. Yeah,
In the name of honor
6.4.
and house. Stand aside, filth. These criminals need to be taught their place. Agreed.
Requesting tactical input.
The secrets of the past shall unlock future glories. Intriguing.
That's always the hope.
Destination set. Pathfinding.
I tread where I will. I cast my shadow over this land and light it with my glory.
The Omnissiah calls us there.
Gunship ready. Order acknowledged.
Knight Crusader awaits your command. I sentence you to ruin. Your command is my purpose. You
Alright,
are but ants, and I
gonna
shall
shoot
treat you as
him that
such.
time. That way we don't get the damage reflected onto us, because it only reflects melee damage, not range damage.
Remediation rituals.
Yes, my liege.
But you just got to be very, very careful when you see
have always feared.
those
I cast
Chaos
my
Lords
shadow
there,
over
because
this
there's
land
nothing worse
and
than
light it with
you
my glory.
accidentally killing yourself on that damage reflection. Say, you know, if you're playing as the Sisters and you had your melee knight there.
Blessed be my mechanical
We
marvel.
definitely want to try to take out the
Machine
city
God
if we
demands my
can.
presence elsewhere. Ready for next operation. Stratoraptor en route.
I tread where I will.
Tech Priest Manipulus at the ready.
Alright, keep getting these guys equipped out.
We are the chosen of the Machine God. Galvanic cell at optimal capacity.
Alright, well, I think we just finished this off by building production, or energy. So we should be able to kill the city here. We may be able to kill the city
They shall fall before the might of the
to the
machine
north
god.
that's being formed, and that should decrease their unit production.
Give me a task worthy of commendation.
Transmit orders.
Your knight is here.
Technology is our salvation.
You have a new quest for me.
I can turn a tide of battle.
Yes. If that is your wish.
I tread where I will. You have a new quest for me.
Acknowledged.
Intriguing.
By my ancestors, it shall be done.
Adapting to the terrain. Confirmed.
Movement order confirmed.
Unit ready. Proceeding.
Your knight is here.
Stratoraptor en route.
Honor the machine. Honor the Omnissiah.
System functions.
Alright, well, let's try to do the double heals, I guess.
It awaits duty to slay the monsters. Be made known and forever fall silent. Kneel and receive your punishment. Signal clear. Go ahead. I shall set an example.
Performing remediation rituals.
All functions operational.
Yes, my liege.
Blessed be my mechanical marvels.
Alright,
My
let's
lord
finish
does
off
his
this
duty.
city here.
They shall be found as well no longer.
The machine god's will. My hand.
That's huge.
There's victory on the wind. I can feel it.
Analyzing topography. What is the Omnissiah's will? What is the Omnissiah's will?
Movement order confirmed.
Yes, my liege.
Gunship ready. Order acknowledged.
System functions nominal.
Alright, get you kitted out so then the next turn I can warp you over there as well.
Production quotas increased.
Yeah, those get built out. Honestly, we probably just want to have the rally point all the way into the corner now with how much we've been able to push. Alright, we do have quite a bit of extra population here, so let's just start building the energy up. You're getting your energy as well. We are going to start having increased energy costs with the aircraft we're building.
My fealty I pledge unto you. How might I serve?
Commencing deflection efforts. Enhancing targeting functions.
What does the Omnissiah will?
That going.
None shall fall
The
in
heals up.
service of the
We gotta
machine
pull you
god.
back because they're finally
It is an
doing
honor
more
to fight
damage
at
than
your
I'm
side.
healing for.
Conducting combat maneuver.
All systems nominal. Input opcodes.
You have a new quest for me.
Movement vector confirmed.
I cast my shadow over this land and light it with my glory. Yes, my liege. I cast my shadow over this land and light it with my glory.
Onwards toward our righteous goal.
These commoners need to be taught their place.
My calculations predict victory. I will lead us to glory.
Platform active.
Technology is our salvation.
Performing remediation rituals.
Agreed. Heading forth.
Order verified.
Logic dictates nothing less.
Our quest continues. There's victory on the wind. I can feel it.
Galvanic excel at optimal capacity.
Confirmed.
Onwards toward our righteous goal.
In the name of honor and house.
Yeah, just kind of send these guys up here, I think.
Aye, sire.
Just to
Armed
cut
and
off
en route.
their push to the north, in case he decides he wants to
If that
keep
is your wish.
founding
We
cities
desire
up
my
there.
expertise. Ex machina veritas. Understood.
Here is to glory along the way.
Which I'm not super excited about.
Scanning for prey.
Forward, brethren. Only victory lies ahead.
Superseding previous order.
You have a new quest for me. Agreed.
So he's got the capital city still there with 50 population.
The march of heresy is unrelenting.
And then his tiny little city to the north, which is nothing.
Initiating mass repair, restoring units to optimal condition.
Heading forth. I shall set an example. Our quest continues.
You are the chosen of the machine god. Motive force thriving.
In the name of honor and house. You are but ants, and I shall treat you as such.
Initiating holding pattern.
Knight Crusader awaits your command. So let us tussle, little creatures.
Yes.
Motive force
Alright, come on, keep healing up here.
The machine god shows the way.
Ex machina veritas.
Confirmed.
A lord does his duty.
Alright, our army is finally getting
Adapting
over
to the
here.
terrain. Initiating mass repair, restoring units to optimal condition.
By my ancestors, it shall be done. Give me a task worthy of commendation. Our quest continues. I sentence you to ruin.
Alright, that's
We must
down.
stake our claim to these lands.
Looks like I could kill that brass spider, but I don't... Or scorpion, not brass spider. I don't know if I really need to, do I?
Order acknowledged.
Tech Priest Manipulus at the ready. None shall fall in service of the machine god. Calculating optimal route.
Command me and see me rise to the occasion.
Confirmed.
Your command is my purpose.
Your order is acknowledged. Repair bolts and gears scatter to the
Alright,
winds.
take that guy out, because he'll just summon in more guys.
Precision
We're
is
at like
key.
the end phase here. We just want to kill and be done here, and bring this campaign to a close.
Calculating optimal route.
State your request.
Because right now it just feels like I'm spinning my wheels trying to get my army over here.
Ex machina veritas.
Our quest continues. Your command is my purpose.
The wings of the Omnissiah.
You have a new quest for me.
All systems operational.
By my ancestors, it shall be done.
His divinity shall lay low the
Alright,
unfaithful.
nice. The noose is getting closer.
You shall become a champion of decay.
My fealty I pledge unto you. How might I serve?
Yeah, I don't know why this seems to be lagging with
Here is
the
to glory
movements
along the
here.
way.
Kind of a weird situation.
Perceived.
Let us tussle, little creatures. Heading forth. Stand aside, filth.
Our mission compels us to move forward.
Legio Cybernetica. I shall tend to the machine spirit.
There is victory on the wind. I can feel it.
The Omnissiah calls us there. Awaiting instruction.
Our quest continues. Signal clear. Go ahead. Here is to glory along the way.
Alright, try to get you right next to that city.
Knight Crusader awaits
Looks like we're doing about 80 damage to it.
Alteration.
There is victory on the wind. I can feel it.
Tech Priest Manipulus at the ready. Onwards toward our righteous goal. Precision is key. I will lead us to glory. The enemies of the Omnissiah shall wither and die. Eliminating hostile.
Let us undertake this burden together.
The Omnissiah calls us there.
Give me a task worthy of commendation.
Praise be to the
Alright, I
Omnissiah.
think we have one more turn, and then
Signal
I think
clear.
we're
Go
good.
ahead.
Onwards toward our righteous goal. What is the Omnissiah's will?
Yes, my liege.
Guess we're committed. We can move you guys over, even though it's probably
Infallible
unnecessary.
calculation.
All systems operational. Proceeding. Calculating optimal route.
Every once in a while they surprise you with some bullshit, but I don't think it's gonna happen here. I think we got this pretty much on lockdown.
It is an honor to fight at your side. Yes, my liege. In the name of honor and house, our quest continues.
Production quotas increased.
Just trying to buff that score as much as I can. See how we compare. Don't think I really have to worry about much influence since we're already up to 4,300, but whatevs.
The Blood God is pleased with your slaughter.
Yeah, I don't know why this is lagging. I must have to reset this, but since we're so close to the end, I think we can just bring it to an
I
end
stand
here.
ready for orders. It is a knight's duty to slay the monsters.
Input opcodes. Maintaining altitude.
Your command is my purpose. You are but ants, and I shall treat you as such.
Done. Alright, and this is victory from the Total Conquest. So, a victory parade then. Emotionless servitors tramp and roll past Skitarii with no discernible heads. Magi writhing with mechadendrites. To the surviving population of Gladius Prime, corralled to watch, the Fulgurites are frankly a relief, with their howling and captured lightning. Out in the waste and nothing lives. So yeah, the Admech are definitely one of my favorite factions. They're a little bit tough to use at the start, but as you can see, they have some really high DPS, and so those vanguards allow you to creep pretty aggressively. You know, luckily I was able to kind of sneak by some of those bases and get some more outposts to help our economy. Now, we just about got taken out by the orcs once they started to move out on us, but thankfully, just about at that time, we were able to start getting those Cataphragm destroyers, which are very good, and then we could put them on the outskirts of our city to allow us to get some defensive bonuses. So when the orcs would be moving in, we'd be getting a bunch of overwatch and doing damage. And then because they have those phosphorus weapons, that actually makes it so they take increased damage, so then you can kind of stack things up, and then we could pull them back, heal, and then put them back out. And thankfully, it looked like the orcs were going to war with the Necrons, I think it was, right? And so they were so aggro. No, so they took out the Necrons, and then they got into war with our other Admech player. And so that allowed us to move around the back, because we were able to see that they were so aggroed onto taking out those Admech that we went around this southwest and were able to take out the AI, because if you take out their cities quick enough, it doesn't aggro them, because they don't appreciate it as being a threat, because you just take out the city. Now, if you're really dilly-dallying and you're attacking the city for multiple turns, then the AI gets aggroed onto you, and it's like, oh shit, I'm under attack, I gotta try to save my city. But if you send a real elite force and you attack them, you can kill the city before they'll redirect their forces, because the AI seems to get some sort of, I think how they're coded is they try to determine who's the biggest threat, and because the Admech and the orcs were fighting so much and doing so much damage to each other, I think it was just aggroing them, and they were considered a bigger threat since they were killing more units than I was, because other than when guys would get summoned in, all of our attacks would go into the city and not for destroying units. Now, if you just sit back and destroy a bunch of units, then again, the AI will aggro onto you, and that can be a real nightmare when that happens. It's actually pretty interesting that given how high the orc score was, they were almost as powerful as some of these late game forces that we were able to take out, which is very interesting. And then we were able to just kind of consolidate areas of the map because we kind of pushed through. That Drukhari could have been a nightmare because the Drukhari is really powerful against the Admech because of all that damage reduction, so I always want to try to take out those Drukhari as fast as possible. Now, you can get past some of those damage reduction using the Vanguards with those Auspex or the Rangers, but the problem is it only reduces the range damage reduction, not the invulnerable reduction that they get with their potions, and that's what makes the Drukhari so powerful. So thankfully we saw him just starting to found another city. We were able to kill that and then push through on the outskirts of the map here and allow us to kind of sneak past his forces, kill the units that he was summoning in, and then thankfully the Sisters and Drukhari were fighting each other. So then once we were able to start taking out those bases, we were able to send another assault force down to attack their big base, because the Sisters only have one big master capital, and then they have a bunch of little smaller cities, as you're able to see, and that helps nullify some of the AI bonuses they get, because the level doesn't so much, I mean, it does affect the HP for the cities, but the bigger thing is the population. But because they're limited with how far they can expand, that led to weaker cities, which we could then start leading little raids on and just massively taking them out, compared to, you know, the bigger cities, which were having, you know, 400 or 500 HP. The Sisters only had a couple hundred HP for their cities, and we were able to just annihilate them using our knights, and so that allowed us to just move through and get a bunch of kills and then mop up these guys, which worked out real well. My plan was to kind of try to take more of these resources. Actually, it looks like I missed one there. There must be something going up there and capturing that, because I could have swore I captured that with my unit. But I was hoping that I was going to try to, because I figured there must be another faction over here, especially after we saw that Chaos outpost. So I just kind of sat back and was hoping that the sisters, which were over here, were going to aggro onto the Chaos player, and that's what happened. So it sent all of its army over here, leaving a weakness for us to move in and start taking out that capital city, which was in the corner here, and then pushing through to those small little outposts. And then by the time of that, we had, 75-80% of the map under our control. So then we were able to just put the stranglehold onto the forces of Chaos, which had almost been beaten back. So that made it for an easy victory for us. Looks like several factions kind of got into war early on. We never got to see them, but it was definitely a fun thing. Now, I definitely could have done better with the Sakari Marshals to boost up our destroyers, giving them the additional attacks, and then that depleted uranium rounds that makes them do shit tons of damage against cities and can really expedite the killing potential. So had I struggled with the Drukhari more, that would have been quintessential for us to get in there and kill those bases. There was a couple of times where I thought we were going to end up sacrificing our army, but once we took out the city, then the AI again just reset the aggro level and ran away from us. But there, I thought we were going to lose our army several times on our playthrough here, but they just never really focus fired onto us, which was very lucky for us. But as you can see, the Dominus here is nice because he has that ability, the Scryer Skull, to help you see where the cities are and then move into those cities with not having as much issues, which can be really nice. And he also gives you influence and research through his basic tech, so that can help you. And then if you're really struggling, then you have the other Dominus here, the Manipulus, and then he can give you that +8 research per kill to really help you bump off your research if you're struggling. Now, I had a city that had several research centers, and then with a very fast game pace, that was allowed us to get through it, so I didn't really have to use that very much. But as you saw, once I got to the end and I was knocking that off, then it just became a non-issue to complete our tech. But they're having the most powerful healing ability here with that 24 hit points every turn, just allows us to sit there and get those vehicles up as fast as possible. I probably could have used the Galvanic field more to increase the armor penetration, but our weapons were already overkilling so much, it's like, just get the heals going to help us here. So that worked out really well. But as you can see, the AdMech have an amazing force, and everything is pretty much viable, and then the aircraft are okay too. The big thing is it just deploys that phosphor on there to give you bonus damage in case you can't get those breachers, or not the breachers, the Cataphan destroyers over there to do as much damage. And so I will upload a video with my recommendations on how to play the AdMech. So if you're struggling and you didn't want to watch this whole campaign to kind of see how you can move around the AI and use things to your advantage, I do have a guide with the the AdMech up, so that should be helpful for you. So looking at the economy here, we can see that the orcs are just popping off because on the impossible difficulty, they're a real terror because they get influence and or by combat. And so once they get that death mob up, they can just really pop off. So as you can see, they had one of the highest economies, even though we killed them halfway through the campaign here. So that's why I really had to kill those orcs, because not only were they have more cities than I was, they boxed me into a corner, but they were just going to continually get tons of resources with all their combat. So I had to definitely neuter them as fast as possible. And then by the end, we were able to pop off with our economy. Did we actually have the highest score by the end? Yeah, just barely. So that's interesting. So did pretty well here, and then got those cities up. Military-wise, we were really, really slow for almost the first third of the game, and then we were able to start taking off. But again, the Drukhari and the sisters were going to have a much, much more powerful army than we were. And thankfully, by taking out the city, the Drukhari, once they become neutrals, will no longer use the potion, so it'll become much, much easier for you to kill. And then kind of the same with the sisters, as they don't act as one homogeneous force, so then we were able to just move into them and take them out. As you saw, they just had tons and tons of units there. So I'm not surprised they were so much more powerful military-wise. We were very overwhelming for the Chaos forces, but I suspect that's because the sisters were just bitch-slapping them left and right. Technology-wise, we kind of maxed it out. And so the final details here, so we made 106 units, got 35,000 resources. That actually is quite amazing that we actually beat the sisters. So even with their loyalty, we were able to overwhelm them. But again, that's because even they can form unlimited cities, but they only have that one tile around it, so that really limits their resource abilities. Now let's compare it to the orcs, which still had more resources than we did, because they had 11,000 ore, 13,000 influence because of their combat, and then the weird boys give them access to additional research as well, so they can just spam those things. The Eldari must have been a major force through most of the campaign because they were up into the 20,000. Chaos must have been very powerful too, because they had 42,000. In fact, that looks like Chaos may actually have had the most resources out of every faction, which surprises me given how badly they were beaten. So I wonder if they were just getting hit by Drukhari and the sisters or something for a while and got tag teamed and got taken out, but they had a massive economy going, so they must have lost multiple bases at the end there. Yeah, the Imperial Guard, Space Marines, and Tau and Tyranids never really got to take off. And then you can see kind of later into the game the Necrons were taken out, and then you can tell by the scores the Orcs really must have been battering the Admech because they were getting good decent resources too, but we were just able to overwhelm them and mop them up after the Orcs had taken down, because I think they only had, what, 2 or 3 cities, so that really worked out well for us here. But the Sisters had 460 units, the Chaos Forces had 424, and the Drukhari had 384, Orcs had 312, so again, even though they were taking out, even the Eldar actually had a bunch of units, 237, so that kind of gives you an idea of where you're going to be in the competition against the impossible AI, and that's why you have to be a little bit sneaky, and you sometimes use them to go to war with each other and then send your army in to just destroy the bases as like a night raid to take out those cities as quick as possible. And as you saw, the dimensional key is pretty nice that you can warp around, especially with your healers, with those tech priests. I probably should have had more of them out, so that made it more difficult than it had to be. I should have got those influence going quicker, and then I could have just pumped more of these guys out, because as you can see, I definitely have the economy to be able to support more of those heroes. I was a little late to the game on that, but otherwise I thought this playthrough went really, really well. We took out the whole map in 138 turns, so that's a pretty quick campaign in terms of the impossible difficulty. So with that, I'm going to sign off for the day. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Cartoon posts more content for you. Have a great day.